The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. Know about stocks that I'm buying, stocks that I'm looking at, and most of all, where we're going with the overall market. Because you can like what's happening, right, with the Nasdaq. You can like what's happening with Apple. But if you don't know the direction, the overall trend, then you're lost in all this sauce, right? Now, first thing I do want to talk about is Apple. Just to let you know, they did actually get rid of that ban right now. So it's Apple will sell its latest Apple Watch models again after the import ban temporarily stopped by the US Appeals Court. On this news, Apple got a pretty nice bounce. I ended up posting this on Twitter, so if you're not following on Twitter, I recommend doing so. But you can see pushed back into the 193, pushed up, mounted that level, now you're pushing back up. I'd be looking probably for 194.5 if we continue to get this upside movement here. So just let that be out there. Just like, I don't want to forget. Okay, looking at indexes, what a great push. Now let's talk about some levels. Let's talk about levels that we've been talking about here on the channel. Now, if you don't know, if you're you're new to the channel, right? I always talk about Nasdaq and ES, right? S&P and Nasdaq. All that's got to be your primary focus if you're trying to day trade, no matter what you're doing. It's got to be. If I got a little text there, yeah, okay. All right, I was making sure that was my guy down at H&R Block. He's confirmed all signs of go. Okay, so when you're looking at what's happening here, you got to know that trend, and I think if you chart the Nasdaq and SPY, then you're going to know how to trade throughout the week, right? So let's understand that. Some people ask why I do this, but that should be clarification. So two levels we're watching. You have this resistance here at 1704 on the Nasdaq, which you were rejecting 1-2. And then yesterday at the end of the day, obviously you pushed above it, right? And then you got that close above local highs, right? This is your local highs here on the year. This red line here, 1707. And you can see here what's happened from yesterday's video until right now. So all day long, you basically were trending in this area, but holding, and you were mounting these levels. As you can see, mounting that level, pushing up. And then at the end of the day, you were met by these really strong wicks, very bullish action. So continue to be very bullish here. All signs are a go. ES looks just about the same, very bullish, just making higher lows and higher highs. Extremely strong. Okay, so ES, Nasdaq, Dow, they're all really strong. You can see DIA as well. DIA, see, still very bullish here. So I just want to show you, so you to believe me. IWM pushing 205. Again, the target is around 209, 208.5. Now, we're going to go into DXY and we're going to go into yields because that's the real, that's the juicy part. Because if you understand that, that's what's going to make you a lot of money. So listen close. Before we go into that, I have to do two things. Consider liking and subscribing. Every single day I make content for you here on the channel. So you are ready to go. You understand what I'm looking at, how I'm trading, and ultimately the stocks I think are going to bring us the most value and money down the road and short-term, long-term swings, everything like that. Okay, the Discord link's down below, but we are currently filled to the brim. But spots will open up on Sunday, so make sure you're ready if you want to get a spot there. No pressure. We also have the Twitter link down below. You can see going down here. I'm obviously a troll 24/7. You get to see all the charts, what I'm looking at with yields, everything in between. I'm posting all day long there. Also, you can follow along with the 3K account and things that are happening with that. So that's all there on Twitter. I recommend checking it out. Okay, number one, let's talk about the DXY. The DXY, like we said yesterday, you were rejecting at the key level 101.75, and our target was down here at 101 to 100.8. You came all the way down to 100.8. Hey, who makes the levels up? I don't know, right? And what did we say about the dollar? Great metric of risk on versus risk off, knowing when the market is getting more bullish, right? We go look, and what happened here? We said we believed the dollar would lead what was going to happen with yields, and it did, right? We had a nice bounce here to start the week off of yields, and you broke straight down, and it doesn't even look like you want to get the retest of this area. You're just breaking straight down. So that's a very good sign for the market. And again, if you're new to the channel, then you need to understand, when did we get really bullish the beginning of this run in last year? It's when you broke below 4% on the 30-year yield. That was it. Once you broke above 4% and held and mounted that level, guess what happened? That's when we got the really big pullback, basically from August into like October, right? So things to understand, things to be watching as we get below this, very bullish for the overall market. Now, a few things I want to talk about. Number one, Zillow. Now, if you missed yesterday's video, at the end of the video, I talked about a small cap that I've been liking. And this is one that I've kind of, I've been mentioning here, but I haven't talked about just yet. So you guys should be ready here. Now, a few things that you're looking at here. Okay, so I've explained this to Discord, and they had the opportunity to get around like 57, 57.5. Okay, so on Zillow, okay, and there's going to be some plays here occasionally that you guys, I'm just not going to talk to you guys about. It's just the reality situation. You had two levels, okay. So you mounted the previous high that you had here, so you're making higher highs. What you really want to see is a mount of 65. When you get above 65, that's when the golden trade kind of setup comes into play, like upstart, okay? So when we look here, let's go to like the daily. You zoom out, or actually go to the weekly so we get what's happening here. As you can see, on the weekly, this is your major level. If you get above this level, you're going to rip up, in my opinion, to 85. Very bullish. In the meantime, you can get more aggressive and enter. Again, I think dated positions like May are the best. June, give or take. But again, you can make a lot of money on these, and they're just slowly and gradually moving back to the upside. I love it. Very good name. I wanted to make sure you guys had the opportunity. I think Zill's going to do well with what's happening with interest rates, mortgage rates, and everything in between that line. Now, let's go a little bit on the trail of stocks that I'm liking. Number one, Apple. I really do like Apple. So if you're looking at Apple for a day trade, though, or swing trade, let's talk swings first. So you're looking for a day trade in the market, you're looking just for 194.5. Above that, then you have room to the upside as well. But that's that. So ultimately, what you want to look for a swing trade, though, you want to get back above this level here. And you also have a liquidity level that's mentioned here from our chart prime indicator. And if you're interested in chart prime, what's happening there with their volume indicator, all of our custom scripts and things along those lines, the link is down below as well. Make sure you check it out. It's somewhere down there. But you get a discount or something. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, you can see all that's there. So again, what we're looking at here is you want to get back above 194.5, which lines up with our level as well. So you want to see a mount above this level. You get back above this level, I think you're long back into all-time highs. I think there's a lot of room to run there, and I think Apple will start playing catch up with the rest of the market like it did way back here as well. So I do like Apple, so it looks strong, but you have to get above 194.5. Number two, AMD. Now, AMD is something that we mentioned in Discord today, and we kind of called out, but you kept running near the end of the day. So you got above your level here at 145.5. It was a key level mentioned from J Ream. Now, you got above this level, you came down, and then you mounted it right here in the middle of the day, and you started pushing back to the upside. Overall targets around 147. I got a little conservative. 146.9 is my short-term target here. A little bit further as well. Tesla. What can I say here? If you're not following on Twitter, I don't know what you're doing. I say this all the time. But needless to say, let me go to this chart real quick. Let me see exactly where it is. Tesla right here. I mentioned it. Over 260, we're back in business. The bump and run, absolutely beautiful. I talked about it here as well yesterday. You got above 260, instantly pushed into 263.5, a $3 move. You're getting a little bit of resistance here at 263.5, but again, I like what's happening. I like the action here. You're mounting that 260 level. Very good. I could see upside behavior into tomorrow, and I really do think this thing could run to 268, 269 in a hurry. Okay, NVIDIA. It's like the prodigal child. You've come home. Please, NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA, what you want to see happen. If you're looking at here on the higher time frame, like the daily, I think you have an ascending triangle with a false breakout here. You're trying to break out above 500. So you want to see that break happen and hold. That's what we need to see happen, okay? Number one, if you get above 500 and hold, it's like one of the easiest buys, and you're going to run into all-time highs with absolute ease. I like NVIDIA, but the problem is contracts and being able to hold with those contracts. If you can hold swings on NVIDIA, it's a great trade. The problem, though, is you're holding quite a bit of risk here, right? You're making those higher lows. You're breaking on the bull flag. It's all very strong. I'm probably going to look into trading these, at least getting one, so I can dip my toes and catch the run, because the move of 500 is going to be violent. It's going to be probably just as good as like AVG or LRCX or Netflix, right? So I like the opportunity. I like where it's at. A lot of money to be made here. But again, you need to get that break of 500. Next up, Microsoft. Again, Microsoft, I still absolutely love it. You continue to test the level and you just get rejected. 376. If you mount 376.5, you're incredibly bullish and you're pushing back into all-time highs with ease. I like that Apple's back in the party. I like that NVIDIA is looking very good. I like that Tesla's looking very good. I think these things could all help Microsoft get out of this overall range. And once it breaks, very bullish as well. Again, I really like, we mentioned them in Discord, the February 16th 400s on Microsoft. One of the best looking positions out there. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck, very cheap. And I love them. One of my favorite positions out there. Something I mentioned today on Twitter, okay? And a lot of people were asking about Walmart when it was down here. I'm not one of those people that's afraid of missing out, okay? So you do have the inverse head and shoulders kind of trying to play out your shoulder, head, right? You're trying to play out, trying to break back up, okay? You look good. You do look good. If you break 158.7, it's an easy long. You go long. It's a great opportunity there. Right here, I'm just waiting patiently, though, so I'm waiting for that break. Once that breaks happen, I will go long. I'll be targeting 1 into 163.4 and possibly into 167. I'm not going to get crazy, but I think volatility could kick in here. Looking at some names like Costco, obviously at highs, very bullish. Target's been on an absolute tangent and run. Remember when I told you guys to go long on Target at 135 when you broke the 200 SMA and bull flagged? Pretty crazy. You're welcome. I did it again. Wow, these levels are actually nuts. That's all I'm really going to talk about today. Some of my favorite names. Meta is incredibly bullish. You got above the key level at 354. I think you actually have room into all-time highs here. Not going to lie. Wedbush has changed the target from 350 to 420 on it. Blaze it up. So that's what I like to see there. Have a good one, guys. Good day for me. Hope it was a good day for you guys. We need to see the breakout. Once we get that really big breakout, strong breakout on Nasdaq, guys, I really think fireworks are going to kick off here. See you tomorrow.